Hello and welcome to another exciting Blender tutorial. Today we're going to be making this cool escape pod. Let's get started. All right, so this is actually a part of my dump run short film. I've got a new prop that I need to make. It's an escape pod and it's going to play into the ending of the film. And if you're not familiar with dump run, you can check it out. I've got a link in the description to the playlist. It's a massive set of videos where I've been animating a short film. You can also find the product on the Blender Market, which is the dump run series. And you can get all the project files, all the assets, including this one after we make it today. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to hit A to select all and X to delete. And I'm going to start off with a cylinder, bring up the drop down menu, and I'm going to decrease the number of vertices. I think 10. I think I'm going to go for 10. I'm going to rotate Y 90. One more time, back in edit mode, 3, delete, and delete. All right, I'm going to hit E and S and bring this in. Grab X, push it out a touch. I'm going to hit E again and S to scale. I'm going to hit EX, that ES, EX. I think I'll just grid fill it. So I'm going to go F3 grid fill. I'll just adjust the span. That looks good. Then let's see, I want some like benches. I'm going to select these two faces. I'm going to hit Shift D to duplicate. That will duplicate them. And then I'm going to hit P to separate and click by selection. This will separate them out. So there's their new object now. I can select these guys, hit E, S, Y. I'll select this side and just hit X to delete. So I just have one side, and then I'll use the mirror modifier that will just help me speed up a bit. And I can just work on this one. I'll hit I to inset, come in, and then E and Z, come down a little bit, and maybe Y a touch, and then E and Z. And I'll just scale it up on the Y, I think. Get down a little bit. And let's see, I'm going to grab this edge, grab Y, bring it back. We drop this a little bit. And take that and hit E. And then I need to go, yeah, global, good. So grab Y on the global. Bring that out just like this. Grab this bottom face, hit I to inset and bring that in, and then E and Z. And then just grab it up a little bit. Grab this edge, grab Z and bring it down. And I'm just looking at where it comes close to intersecting. I don't want it to quite intersect. Nice having that angle. Might Control R to create a loop cut, and then roll my mouse like that. And then Control B to bevel, split that. And then E and scale. What do I want to do? Scale Shift X. I don't want to scale on the X, I just want to scale on the Y and the Z. Grab it down and grab it back. That. Got multiple seats. Let's take these top edges. Roll B to bevel those. And roll the mouse wheel. Do the same for this. Nice, looking good. So I'm going to go back to this main object. I'm going to hit E to extrude and S to scale and grab Z. Bring these panels down. And then I'm going to subdivide these. So F3, subdivide. And I'm just going to roll these cuts. So with these guys selected, we come up here to select and we go select random. And then you get the little drop down. We're going to change the action from select to deselect. And then I can just play with this ratio. And then I'm going to hit I to inset. I think I'm going to go normal and individual origins and just grab Z and pull these guys out a little bit. Just like that. Now I can come in here and just custom select a few panels and bring them in. I create a few loop cuts right through here. And then Control B to bevel these, and then E to extrude, and I'm just going to bring them forward a little bit. Select these two, and then go F3 subdivide. Okay, just going to do 3 cuts, and then I'll go to edge mode, and I'll select that one, that one, and that one. Same here. Holding down Alt, and then with these I'll Control B to bevel, come out like that, E and grab Z. Still with normal and individual origins. And then I think I might select all of these edges, and we're going to bevel this as well. Control B to bevel, and we're going to roll the mouse wheel a little bit to create a smoother bevel. All right, let's do some floor stuff. I'm going to hit 3, grab this bottom one, F3, subdivide. That should be good 3 times. Let's do this. I'll grab that, hit I to inset, and I'm going to look at up here in the top of the screen. It says 0.05. You can see that number changing where it says thickness. I can type it in, so 0.05 will set a specific inset. I can just do that for each of these now so they match. Then what I can do is grab all these. Bring them up a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to go mesh. That's what I want. I'm going to go into edit mode, go to vertex mode, select the 2 on the side and delete them. So I just have these 2. Let's just put a bit of geometry nodes on it. So I'm going to come here, add modifier and geometry nodes. Right. Click new to create a new one. I'll call this pipes. Open our geometry nodes editor. This is a good example of how you can just use geometry nodes. Just do simple stuff. Like you don't have to always have the most complex geometry node systems. So I'm just going to take this mesh. I'm going to convert it to a curve. So mesh to curve, and then curve to mesh, and then circle, curve, circle. Drop this as the profile curve, and then drop that radius down. So now I've got something that's behaving like a curve, but got a little more control because I can actually model out, I can go like up like that, add a subdivision surface into it. Could be cool. Subdivision surface. All right, cool. So I'm going to put some pipe joints with this. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to grab a cylinder, and I'm going to grab a instance on points node. And let's see, I'll take this as the instance, and I'll come all the way over here to this. I'm going to duplicate my mesh to curve. I want to bypass this subdivision surface. I don't want to have a curve with a lot of different points on it. I just want a few wherever I've got a vertex. And I'll take this and plug this in as the points. Let's plug this in so we can see it. And then let's take the radius down on these guys and the depth as well. I just want them to be little pipe joints. Like this. And then we need to grab a rotate Euler, let's see, align Euler to vector. And we plug that node into the rotation. And then we need to grab the normal node. And this will grab the direction, the normal that the curve is facing at every point. And it will pipe that into, do I need the rotation or the vector? I think the vector is what I need. Yep. There you go. You can see now they're pointing in the direction of everything. So that's good. And then we can join these up. So we can grab a join geometry and drop this here and drop this here. Cool. Maybe instead of normal, I want the tangent. Is that going to do it? Yeah, that looks better. Cool. All right, I can make these guys bigger. The radius up. The depth right down. I can grab all these, grab Y, and just start placing them around in the set. So I can grab this. It's a bit funny looking. Drop that depth, that radius down a bit more. All right, so to get this to stick to the wall, I'm just going to turn snapping on and turn on, see, face project, I think. And yeah, that'll work. Where that's not face projecting properly. Cool, so I just changed this to just include non-edited. So I turned off include active, include edited, so that means it's not going to affect itself. I'm going to E to extrude out. See, well, we can make this look good now that I've kind of scattered it through. What happens if, well, first off, what happens if we use this instead? It's going to make a ton of these guys, but that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I can take the vertices down on them. They don't have to be so dense. And we could take the radius up a little bit, and the depth up a little bit, or down a little bit, up a little bit. Yeah, that's good. So that looks kind of cool, actually. I feel like it needs to come off the wall. So what's going to be the best way to do that? Sure. Take it on the X and on the Y a bit, so it's always sitting off the curve a little bit. Looks pretty good. Now, we're going to see it from this angle, so we probably want a little bit extra detail on these chairs, I'm thinking, like along here. So I might inset like that, and then E, and then snapping off, grab X, and push those guys in a little bit. Now, when I have like some cylindrical sort of dials and stuff kind of peppered around the place, so let's create like a, I don't know, maybe like a locking mechanism or some kind of device. So let's go Shift-A, Mesh, Cylinder. Let's grab it over here. And let's go into Edit Mode, and let's delete the top face. And let's go to Edge Mode here, and let's E Scale, and then E, Z, E Scale, E, Z, E Scale, E, Z, E Scale, E, Z, Z, and then let's go E Scale, and F3 Grid Fill, and then let's come here, Control R, Loop Cut, Control R, Loop Cut, 3, Alt Click, grab that center loop right there, E, S, Scale up, Scale Z, bring it down, and let's see, let's checker deselect, so select, checker deselect, E, bring that out. That, let's Control B to bevel. Go. Might grab these two right here and E, Z, bring them up, and then Control B to bevel that. Hold my mouse wheel a bit so it's not so dense. Grab those guys and hit E and Z. That up. Okay, I'm going to come over to the wrench, add modifier, bevel modifier. We'll set the segments to 2. And then I'm going to scale it down, rotate Y 90 degrees. And then I'm going to bring this guy, grab Y, grab X, turn snapping back on. Actually, before I do that, I'll go into edit mode, select all, and grab X, and just bring it forward so that the origin is kind of back in here. Then what I do when I turn on snapping, I can grab, and it should, I'll just rotate Z 180, bring it around, scale it down, and then turn snapping off, and Shift D. Actually, first I'll look at this, let's see, number 3 on my keypad, my number keypad. Now I'm looking at an orthographic view, so when I move it around, it's just going to move it in that view. So I can Shift D, rotate, Shift D. And I'm going to make sure I have the seats deselected there. And then I'm going to Shift D to duplicate, and I'm going to go bounding box center 3D cursor as my pivot point. And I'm going to scale Y -1. I'll bring the guys over to the other side. All right, let's see if we can use these in some other spots. Let's Shift D some of this. And we could probably rotate Y 90. I'm going to go back to median point. Just grab this up, scale this up. Y, grab Z, intersect the ceiling. We're only ever going to see, we're going to see the outside of this thing. We're just going to see the interior and the door that leads to it. But I want to have some kind of like framed housing for it. So when the doors open, we can see it a bit better. So I'm going to just, let's see, I want to select everything on this side. So I'm going to go into edit mode for this guy, go to transparent mode, and view this from the top. Go to edge selection, and I'm going to hit B to box select, and I'm going to try and just grab that front edge. So there we go. Got all that. That's great. Now I'm going to hit Shift D to duplicate, and then P to separate. Go out of edit mode, and then let's grab this new piece. Turn transparency off. And with this piece, let's see, I'll go into edit mode and I'll hit E and scale like this. It's kind of cool the way we get that detail. E again, scale Z maybe. Grab X, pull it back. So this is going to be the housing like within the spaceship itself. And then we need to have some kind of door system. So let's think about that. I need to be able to seal this off. What I could do is we could take this thing, Shift D, and make our pivot point back to media point and scale it right up so it fills the entrance. Take it a touch, scale it down, grab X, let's bring it in. Go into edit mode, and I'm going to go to face mode, and then Control plus to expand my selection. And I'll select all that and delete those faces. And did something interesting, not something I was expecting. Let's try that again. I'll just select these guys manually. I'll get rid of the bevel as well, just so it's a little bit clearer for me. Just going to delete those faces. Faces. Do we have... What do we have here? It's kind of cool, that shape. I might keep it. I will get rid of these. Then I'm going to hold down Alt and select these and these. There we go. I'm going to hit E to extrude and S to scale and just bring them in like that. Select, I want to fill that out actually. So what I'll do is go to edge mode, just select that, hit F to fill. Cool. I'm going to get rid of that face. Select these faces. Hit E and just bring them up a bit. Just give that thickness back. All right, that's pretty cool. I'm going to hold down Alt, select this loop, and I will inset and E, bring it forward. Just going to add a little more detail to all this. Inset, E, Z, inset, E, Z, X. And let's see. Let's go in here and grab some of our. Let's have some wires on this, I think. Let's see what I want to do. I'll grab this. I'll Shift E to duplicate. Move it off. Go into edit mode and vertex mode. Just Shift D one of these over. And turn snapping back on. Grab there. Just put some cabling like this. And then let's also grab the, where are they? The little circle things. Let's find the door. I'm going to go ahead and name this door. It's going to get confusing soon. I'm going to Shift D and X and come out with that so I could see it. And then I might put a few of these along here. So the door's just going to slide, I think. So I need to parent some stuff up. I'm going to grab all of these bits. And then I'll Shift select the door and then Control P to parent. And then what I can do is just grab this on the Y, and as it slides out, I want to make sure it's fully hidden by the door. It's kind of cool, and the chairs are visible through that a little bit. It's kind of nice, actually. I like seeing that little bit of extra detail. I wonder if we could use that. Let's use it. Let's use it. I'm going to go into the chairs and I'll select, go to face mode, and I'll select those faces. I might hold down, see, backslash or forward slash on the number keypad isolates the selection. So I'll just grab these and then Control plus to expand the selection a little bit. So I've got the seat, and then Shift D, and then P, separate by selection, and then grab that. We can hit that forward slash button again to get out of that, and then grab X, bring this forward, scale X as well. So I'm going to set my set it to, oh, medium point. It's because the origin's way off somewhere else. So I'm going to go Object, Set Origin, Origin to Geometry. No, I don't want to do that. Just grab it forward. Cool. And then what we can do with this is let's add in another mirror on the X. They'll end up there. Nice. And then we can take the actual doors and grab X and just bring them in like that. Just forward, just so things aren't intersecting. Nice. Let's use that. That's pretty cool. Just these guys. All right, so when this is down, it's going to launch, it's going to disconnect and take off. And so I need to see something of like the thrusters. So what I can do is I can come in edit mode with this edge, the outer edge selected. Let's see. Do I want these faces? I don't think I do. So I'm going to shift select the faces and then hit E and just bring this back on the X like this. And E, just extrude that. E and scale, bring it down. E and X, bring it back. Scale that down just so it's kind of close. We bring it forward a bit. Okay, now I'm gonna put some like jets like around here on the outside. So I'm gonna go Shift A, out of edit mode, Shift A, mesh, and cylinder. Rotate Y 90 degrees, grab Y, bring this over. I'll keep the low poly count. I'm gonna go to 3, go here, delete face, 2 for edge mode, select this, grab it back a bit, E, X, S to, when I go from median point, S to scale, E, X, S to scale again. And then let's see, I'm going to go 3, delete that face as well. And then I'll take this. Let's bring it back a little bit, maybe scale it in as well. E, scale, E, X, scale, E, scale, E, X, bring that right in. Grid fill. And then let's see what else we want to do. I'm going to go R to loop cut and just roll my mouse like that. And then return and then Control B to bevel and roll my mouse to simplify it. I only want one cut. Do that. E and S. Maybe scale out. Might be the better way. That looks more like a jet. It's good. Cool. We need some thickness on this. So I might select all, or maybe we just come over here and add in a solidify modifier and turn the thickness up. That looks a bit better. Cool. Let's add a subdivision surface. That to 2. Looks pretty good. maybe a bevel as well. We'll put the bevel in between these two, just like this. Set the segments to 2. Set it to %, and I'll increase the amount. Segments on 1, and maybe I'll increase the angle. Decrease the angle. Maybe keep a little bit of that boxiness. I'm going to right-click Shade Auto Smooth. And let's take our wires again, Shift D, scale it down. I'm going to go Object, Set Origin, Origin to Geometry, scale it down. I'm going to go into Edit Mode, Transparent Mode, and Vertex Mode. Oops. There we go. I'm going to select the guys at the front here. I'm going to turn on Proportional Editing, and then S to Scale. And this way I can kind of proportionally scale them up so they go around the shape a bit better. Oh, I'll take these and shift select that, Control P to parent to the object. Now I'm going to grab X, and then grab Y, and just bring that in. Scale it down a bit. We don't need huge rockets on this thing. And then I'm going to set my pivot point to the 3D cursor once again, which should still be in the middle of my scene. And then I can select this. Just navigate to it. I'm going to right click on it, select hierarchy. That'll select the wires that are parented underneath it. Then I can hit Shift D and then rotate X, Y. No, rotate Y. There we go. Rotate X. There it is. 90. D, rotate X, 90. D, rotate X, 90. Then we could also Shift D again, scale them, go, let's see, individual origins, and S to scale, and then back to 3D cursor, rotate X, and these guys over, scale them down, bring them forward. Then this outer pod thing, let's go ahead and add modifier. Let's add a bevel to this. I'm going to set it to %. And then, is that going to work? Yeah. And just drag it up a little bit. Give it like a 2, maybe a 3. Just to round off those edges a touch. Might do the same for this one. Bevel, %, 2, 3, and just expand it a little bit. I'm going to take the door. I'm going to go F3 and apply location and rotation. That way, if I zero it out, it's going to be right where I want it. So I can just lift it up like this without stress, and then I can just hit 0. It's always going to close. Well, thanks so much for watching. Hope you really enjoyed the tutorial and learned a lot. Please hit that like button if you did, and subscribe to the channel to find out when new videos launch. They come out every week, so stay tuned for the next one. Special thanks to everyone on the Patreon and everyone who has joined on YouTube. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and bringing us tutorials like this. If you want to join them, you can find the links in the description below. And if you join at Patreon at the 2nd tier and up, you can get this project file if you do it this month. So the month that the tutorials come out, you can get the project files. Now we're going to be continuing this. We're going to do some materials in the next tutorial. So if you want to find out some cool sci-fi material tricks, stay tuned for that. Probably next week we'll jump into it. And again, this feeds into the Dump Run short films. This is going to be for the climax, the end of the film. If you want to watch more episodes about Dump Run, if you want to find out about that, links are in the description below for that too. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Until then, adios. Bye.